Hello children, it is me, McGrouch, and today we're going to be taking a look at the spear. The baddest weapon with the biggest damage and the penniest pen, except for that one secondary, and also your hell pod. But if you want the highest armor pen possible in your support weapon slot, then accept no exception, except for the arc thrower. But hey, it's still level 7 armor pen, and in all fairness, it is more consistent than the arc thrower, though not by much. Even with all that damage and that penny pen, this gun can still fail to one-tap enemies unless you hit them in the right spot. This is a lot easier said than done. The issue being the fact that you don't choose where this weapon hits. You can only recommend what it hits, and it's pretty selective about what it considers to be an acceptable target. Only enemies in the category of big. It simply refuses to recognize anything smaller because it thinks it's better than you. You deal with those medium enemies. Only wake up the spear when something important is happening, and also only when that thing is happening far away. See, this weapon will lock onto enemies at ranges up to 300 meters, but it can't hit all the enemies in that 300 meter range. That's because the spear rockets have a very specific trajectory. They go up, and then, because of that science bitch Newton, they go back down. If the thing you're trying to hit is inside of the area that the rocket travels up through, it's not gonna hit. If you're a chump. Cool guys like me, we know the real tricks, buried all the way at the middle of the wiki. You need to be curving your shots, like in that one movie the Mythbusters did an episode on. You see that little triangular reticle? Well, wherever that is in relation to the central dot of the crosshair determines how this will travel through the air. Reticle to the right, rocket curves to the right. This can be used to flatten the trajectory of the rocket to hit a nearby target by aiming further down, or to redirect the rocket's path so it impacts a specific part of an enemy. And it's important that you hit the right part of an enemy, because if the first shot doesn't hit the right spot, it may not kill. And using a second shot means you've now wasted half your ammo on a single enemy. That's right, this gun only gets 4 shots, as attested to by this backpack, which I have to assume was designed by the world's worst Tetris player. Look at how much empty space there is on this. If you are going to make me give up a backpack slot, at least have the decency to give me more than 3 shots. To use this gun is to accept that you will always be almost out of ammo. Be ready to constantly be running around the map looking for loose ammo crates, or make peace with your innate rat bastardry and take your teammates' resupply. You deserve it more anyway. You're the one suffering with the spear. If suffering like that sounds fun to you, then be prepared to build around the spear. This is perhaps the least versatile weapon in the entire game, so your loadout is going to have to compensate for that. I would recommend a primary that can deal with enemies at close range, and the grenade pistol as a secondary. Anyway, that's the spear. I don't like it. Bye.
Subscribe to me, Couch. 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 Subscribe.